Okay. Hey.
Welcome back to Crime Chats. I'm Hillary.
I'm Lisa.
Thanks for stopping by to hang out with us. We are here live right now. It is Tuesday at 10:30, and we try to do this every week, Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Thank you in advance for liking, subscribing, and joining the Crime Chatter community through commenting, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
So today is a doozy. I have discovered recently the worst crime ever.
That is?
The worst
Okay.
The worst crime that I believe that a person can commit. So I discovered recently there's a podcast that called Nobody Should Believe Me that I think everybody should listen to, and it goes into the perpetrators of this crime, and it's a doozy. So we are going to start today by talking about one of them. Again, if you guys will remember, the theme of the month is not all moms are good moms. So that's the theme. Don't wear it out. So the mom that we're talking about today is Lisa McDaniel.
She has your name.
I know. So I was thinking about that. I was driving yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, we had Elizabeth Diane Downs, and now we have Lisa McDaniel. What is happening? I guess I have to be like the good one.
There's 1 in 3 good Lisas.
I'm the redeeming. I'm the Lisa that shall redeem us all. So,
I vouch for the good Lisa.
Yes. So
real quick. So sorry.
What?
Merch.
Oh yeah.
Buy it. It's cute. This one's nice too. We didn't have this one last week.
Yeah, we didn't.
So this is our black and white.
There's the colorful Crime Dots mug and the black and white Crime Dots mug. I'm gonna take this bracelet off because I keep playing with it.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to get that in there because I'm drinking from it, but I wanted to show it off too. Okay.
All right. So, just the family. You have Lisa McDaniel, mom. You have Harry McDaniel, her husband, dad. You have then you have Michelle McDaniel, the eldest daughter, Angela McDaniel, younger daughter, and then Collin McDaniel is his son. Okay. So today we're going to focus on mom, and Collin McDaniel is her son.
Okay. The youngest.
So trigger warning, this case, we're talking about alleged medical child abuse. So we're talking about my children by proxy. So
I'm sorry, I weirdly am obsessed with
I told you DSM-5 action. I told you we're gonna be yes. Okay. It'll happen. So this is the worst crime that I can imagine. But we're gonna talk about this particular case. So let's get right into it. So again, trigger warning, we're talking about child abuse. It's not easy to talk about, but it's important to talk about it. So we're gonna talk about it. All right.
Don't shove it down and hide it. Bring it out in the light.
So, in 2007, or prior to 2007, so this is back when, I was high school. We're in high school, right?
2007 high school, yep.
But yeah, 2007, in Georgia, we have this McDaniel family. And so, we have this son, Collin, who, the mom gets concerned that he is, he's got reports of like vision loss. There was a fall from his bed. His mom is talking about how he's been having rapid neurological decline.
Okay.
So the family questions these reports because before the reports were made, Collin's described by family members as active, funny, energetic, perfectly healthy. The podcast that I mentioned, Nobody Should Believe Me, interviewed the family, and there were no obvious severe chronic health issues. There's just suddenly all these symptoms. Mom was like, oh my God, my kid is having just rapid neurological decline, and now he's lost his vision. So obviously, like any mom would, brings him to the hospital because why is he blind?
Do we know how old he is?
No, not at this time. Okay. But he's young. Anyway, so in November of 2007, mom takes her son to a hospital in Savannah, Georgia, where his doctor is a woman named Jane Nest. Now, Jane Nest sees these, neurological decline and vision loss, and immediately, I don't know how immediately, but she brings up NMO. Now, NMO is neuromyelitis optica, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the optic nerve in the spinal cord. So, autoimmune disease in this little kid, oh my god, it's probably NMO. So the family is told that Collin could have repeat vision loss. It's a very difficult disease. It used to be considered a form of MS.
I was just thinking when you said the myelin thing, I was like, myelin sheath nerve?
Yeah.
What? MS? Yeah.
So Collin, they were told Collin would have varying degrees of disability forever. This would be, an ongoing thing that he didn't have to deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, mom is like, well, of course, my baby has this thing. It makes sense with all of the symptoms. And my baby, oh my God, my child, whatever. So in late 2007 to early 2008, so Collin's officially diagnosed with NMO. So in March, and Lisa McDaniel, mom, starts blogging about it and telling the world, like, my child has NMO and I'm going to be an advocate for my child and all this stuff. So Collin reportedly undergoes IV steroid treatments. He has a central line placed. He undergoes plasmapheresis, which is the plasma exchange.
The worst possible thing in the world, by the way. If you've never done it, don't do it. I won't say don't do it. Follow your doctor's orders, but it's awful.
And pain management medications, including Lyrica. There were experts interviewed on this podcast. They talk about how the treatments themselves, they weren't necessarily inappropriate for confirmed NMO, but the concern centered more around, like, severity, like the narrative, the mom talking about how bad his symptoms were, symptom reporting, and then how fast, like, basically Lisa was saying, like, it was escalating really fast, and, the experts were like, okay, well, like, yeah, okay, it'll progress, but maybe not as rapidly as this. Just, it's important to note that NMO is not terminal by itself, okay? So in 2008, so still early diagnosis times, Lisa takes to social media and her blog on Caring Bridge. She discusses possible paralysis, blindness, death. Again, NMO is not terminal, okay?
Right.
And then she starts talking about hospice for her son. And this is like the same year that he gets diagnosed. So he gets diagnosed in March, and she's already, in August of 2008, she writes publicly about discussing hospice services for Collin, needing support from the family, and preparing loved ones emotionally for his death.
I'm confused. So, what I'm hearing is that NMO, never heard of it before, but I'm understanding my battle with MS for over 15 years, and the myelin sheath and the nerves and all that kind of stuff, and you're saying it attacks spinal cord, optic nerve, that kind of area. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Okay, let's say that's real, but it's real. But let's say what's happened to Daniel. Collin.
McDaniel.
Oh, I was like, Daniel. Collin is NMO. Let's say that's true. What? Because, okay, blindness makes sense. If that's happening, maybe it is happening really rapidly. Maybe he is having attacks, I'm thinking MS, but like neurological attacks on his nerves and stuff that make him go blind. And those are irreversible. Yes, 100%. Get that. I understand that. That's not... Being blind doesn't kill you.
Yeah. So we start to, there's all these blog posts about, like, oh my God, like, get ready. Okay, hold on to your butts because my kid's going to die and it's going to be awful. Anyway, again, NMO is A, pretty rare.
Okay.
And B, not considered terminal. And it's pretty treatable if it's caught early. Okay.
But she, okay, sorry to interrupt again, but she was saying, okay, in the beginning there was the vision loss, neurological decline,
Right. So
and that was it, right?
yeah, so he just wasn't himself. He was losing
Okay.
his vision. And she was very, very adamant about these symptoms. And this Dr. Jane Nest in Georgia just like believed the mom 100%, was like, you're the mom, everything you say is.
It's like Gypsy Rose all over again.
Gypsy Rose was like the most famous case
Right.
of Munchausen by proxy.
Doctors, run tests. I mean, to be fair, I did, I don't know where this is in my head as a memory, but it's somewhere, where doctors are trained. Please correct me if I'm wrong out there, people who are doctors or in the medical field, but doctors are trained to first and foremost believe the patient.
Right.
Over any test or any of that kind of stuff, believe the patient.
But if the patient is a child and the mom has to kind of be the voice for the patient, mom can say, oh my God, this happened the other night. Like, just because it's not happening right now in front of you, like, blah, blah, how dare you question what I saw with my own eyes, blah, blah. Anyway.
So I can see that being a contradicting or difficult thing for a healthcare professional, unless Dr. Nest is just a piece of trash doctor. Don't yet. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so from 2008 to 2011, he has ongoing treatments and specialist care. So he gets neurological care, immunological treatments, pain meds, repeated hospitalizations, specialist evaluations, discussions of experimental therapies. Like, she just wants them to throw the whole kitchen sink at her kid because, oh my God. So she becomes an advocate for this. And so she becomes really, really involved in NMO advocacy. She forms a connection with, there's a foundation called the Guthrie-Jackson Charitable Foundation, and it's specifically for, like, to raise money to research NMO. So it's a foundation specifically for this. She gets a job as the head of patient advocacy for this foundation, right? So cool. Now she has a nice cushy job working in this. That's all she talks about and whatever. So the family during this time also relocates to Alabama. So now there's a new hospital that's seeing her kid. Okay, so in Alabama, so in Birmingham. And I wrote the name of the place down, and then I forgot what it was. I'll find it. It's in my notes somewhere. Anyway, so they relocate to Alabama. So doctors in Birmingham seem to take Lisa's and the doctors in Georgia's word for it. So they, I guess before this happened, or maybe still now, like, if you cross state lines and go to another state, like, there's not a whole lot of communication between states as to, like, oh, you treated this person, whatever, what did you, like, there's not a whole lot of...
Right, the doctor believes what you said we did in Georgia.
Yeah. So in Alabama, she's like, hey, look, in Georgia, they did this, diagnosis is this, here's my kid, treat him, whatever. So Lisa becomes involved, like I said. She's working now for the Guthrie-Jackson Foundation. And then between 2011 and 2012, Collin is placed on hospice care. And, he's got his, like, he's on hospice. He is put on a feeding tube because he's just declining all these symptoms. Like, he can't eat. He's going paralyzed all the time. He's going numb. He can't do anything for himself. Whatever. All right.
Hospice is for the final days of your life because your body has shut down situations.
I mean, if that's
how did he get approved for that?
That's what Mom was pushing for, saying, look, I'm telling you, my son, he can't eat. He can barely sit up. He's in so much pain all the time.
And nobody did observations on him or anything?
So we're gonna get into that stuff. But so basically this is just the timeline, and then we'll go back and talk about stuff. But so he's placed on hospice in January. So these are the final weeks. Lisa was allegedly discussing Collin in the past tense online. So, kid hadn't died yet, and she's talking about him in the past tense. She's asking for memorial-style messages, and she's designing a casket for her son before his death. Collin McDaniel dies while in hospice care. His death later becomes the focus of renewed scrutiny. So, through, like, family advocacy, the family is like, wait a second. Was he really dying? Did he have to die? What's going on? So, Michelle McDaniel, the eldest daughter, actually reaches out to like the podcast, and she's talking about it. So they investigated it, right? I wish this had all been done sooner, but can't go back. So the most tragic part for me about this, and I actually, like, I was picking up, I listened to this last summer, this season of this podcast, and I remember I was driving to pick up Lily from her summer camp, and I started bawling. So, sorry if any of you listeners shed a tear, but her son was in the hospital in hospice, right? And he's not doing well. Apparently, they were like starting and stopping his feeds because the doctors, I guess, okay, whoever's, okay. So, mom was like, yeah, he's not handling his feeds, whatever. So they were kind of, I don't know. So Collin is talking to his aunt. Sabrina McDaniel is Lisa's sister.
Okay.
Basically saying, oh, okay, so what am I going to go to heaven and all this stuff? And then he's basically saying, okay, I'll see you there. But then he looks at his aunt and says, but I don't think mommy and daddy will be there.
Oh.
So, but, like, he knew what was going on.
Okay.
But, he's, like, just kids are so, this is what we were talking about last time, like, kids are so pure, and they, they say things, like, why would mommy do this stuff? Mm-hmm. Kind of stuff, so. Okay, so, according to the podcast, oh, wait, hold on, sorry. Okay. So, there's this happened to Collin, and it was tragic and awful, and, basically, worst crime you could ever possibly commit is to claim that your kid is sick and keep them sick against their will.
Right.
How could mom do that? And the kicker of this whole thing is that Lisa had a prior child abuse conviction. She had done time for doing this to her daughter, Angeline, who was older than Collin, right? So Angeline was hospitalized a lot as a child. There was apparently videos of Lisa messing with her breathing tube and, like, introducing toxic things through things,
Okay.
Making her daughter sick. So I'm like, how
does she still have children?
How does she still have children? Yeah. How is she even able to access Collin in order to do this? What's going on, right? So the idea now is that she was convicted in Georgia, and so she just went to a different state. They don't know me in Alabama,
wow.
Right? So anyway, so I'm incensed because she had a conviction, and, like, she did time at a women's correctional facility. Like, she did time. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean she was able to still be a mom after that, after, like, medically abusing her? It's just insane to me. Also,
yeah, why weren't the children taken? Oh, where's dad?
Again, it all comes down to where's dad. Anyway, we're gonna talk about dad too, because Carrie. So from the podcast, from what I've heard, is that there's three different kinds of dads in these situations. So there's a dad that is that you want, the hero, the dad that sees mom doing these terrible things and fights for his kid and is like, get the fuck away from my kid, what are you doing? Like, right. Calls the cops on her and whatever. And then there's Carrie, there's the dad on the opposite side of the spectrum. he defended his wife tooth and nail. Like, this entire time. And there's like a video of when she's doing stuff to Angelin in the hospital room, because the nurses suspected this. So what the hospitals do sometimes is they like surveillance on the room.
I was just
so
gonna say, why are there
watch
videos? Okay.
and they'll watch the behavior of the parents with the child or whatever. And so you see Carrie, apparently he's reading a newspaper, and Lisa is with Angelin doing stuff, and he like kind of flips the newspaper down.
So he sees it.
And he sees it, but then he flips the newspaper up. And doesn't do anything.
Why?
I don't know. From the reporting on this season of the podcast, Lisa was much younger than Carrie when they got married. It was some sort of a like I don't think he's a very good guy in general.
Okay.
But I mean, how are you not going to fight for your kids? But then, so the third type of dad that we see, or that people see in this circumstance, is like the one that's kind of caught in the middle and doesn't really know what's right and what's whatever. Doesn't really know what to do, right? So, anyway, so a lot of people were incensed with Carrie, as I was. Like, I was like, what do you mean you... Especially since your wife has already done this before and got convicted for it. Like, what do you mean? Like, when I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, she's done this before and somebody allowed her access to another...
Children in hospitals and medical everythings. And he's sitting there watching it? Thank you. Someone played a loud song outside. How dare they?
They're as mad as me.
They're mad at Carrie.
At Carrie, yes. Just...
It doesn't... I guess as a normal human being with, logic, I don't even know what else to call it. You see abuse, you say something. Even let's say Carrie was... I don't believe this, but let's say he was afraid of, I don't know, something like, I won't say being abused by her, because she wasn't necessarily, at least as far as I know, she wasn't physically abusive, right? But usually in the case of children and parents, the mother is believed on anything that is said. Usually, with her record, maybe not, but just saying, maybe he was there to be like, well, if I say something, I'll get taken away, and then what? They'll only have... I don't know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know.
I don't think there's any benefit to...
Okay.
I mean,
I tried.
Well, not for me anyway. He's
Yeah.
he's a terrible human as much as her.
Complacency is just as bad, yeah.
So, well, like, to go and, like, staunchly defend her.
He did, that's right. I forgot about that.
Too, like, I mean, it's one thing to, like, so there's the moms that will go to all the appointments and always be there, and dad's never there, and so dad doesn't really know, right? And so then you can give them the benefit of the doubt, because they're like, okay, well, they didn't really know, but then, like, it wasn't until it was too late, and dad finally was like, oh my god, what the fuck? But, like, he was there from the beginning. Also, they had a daughter that also went through something similar. Luckily, she's still alive today.
Yeah.
But also, the worst part is that to this day, I'm pretty sure Angelin lives with Lisa, and her kids live there too. I don't know. I just know that. So I'm not 100% sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I do know that Lisa McDaniel is currently living with grandchildren. I don't know whose children. I'm assuming Angelin's, because her other daughter wants nothing to do with her after what happened to Collin. Because she was the one that came forward, and I mean, there's an interview, or not an interview, but there's like a discussion that we hear on the podcast where Michelle's talking to her mom and is like, look, I love you as a person. I will never understand how you could do this to Colin and whatever. And then Lisa is, of course, like she's kind of just, you know, saying everything she can to try to like justify her actions and whatever. And so the other thing I wanted to bring up is this Guthrie Jackson Foundation. So from the like this case, this is still kind of ongoing, but at the end of the podcast, they were kind of talking about how like they've removed Lisa from all the stuff on there, and she no longer works for them.
Fair.
But she's apparently still she's still talking to patients, and she still has access to patients, which I don't understand. Like, you need to blacklist her, so I feel like they're not doing enough to kind of like, oh my god,
eradicate her name from.
And I mean, there's a lot of families. NMO is a real thing. There's a lot of families that are dealing with that, and then Lisa also, like, she's helped people, right? Like, there's a Reddit thread about this where I saw a comment from somebody who he has NMO, and he said how, Lisa helped him get the meds that insurance wasn't going to cover, whatever. So, like, she did help people, but she just kind of made it about her, and she killed her, and so the question became, okay, well, Colin died. What did he die of? We're not 100% sure, but because of the tube feeding and because they were starting and stopping, the thought is that it was starvation. Because he wasn't handling food and he wasn't eating, and so we're just gonna, he's just in too much pain to eat, so we're just gonna stop. I mean, that's such a scary thing. A lot of these moms will convince doctors to put in a feeding tube. Right. And then once they have a feeding tube, that mom has unfettered access to her kid's insides. Right. I mean, Holly had a feeding tube, right? I was giving her feeds. I could have put anything through that tube.
Glad you didn't.
And it's just like, whoop, it goes right in there.
Direct
right?
access. Yeah.
I mean, there's moms that I've heard about on this show that have, like, literally, there was one mom that, like, injected, like, fecal matter into her kid so that she'd get, like, a bunch of different bacterial infections, whatever, so she had this infection, so then, oh my god, my kid's dying of this infection, I'll help, and turns out it's the mom that did it. Like, these are terrible, terrible, terrible moms. And so I go back to not all moms are good moms. And I think back to that nurse that was like, no, not all moms get access to good mental health care. Like, I don't give a shit. Like,
that wasn't the point of the comment.
If you're intentionally making your kid sick because it's all about you and you want to blog about it, and then you want people to feel sad for you when your kid dies,
you need help and not children.
You deserve to have your kids taken away from you, and you need to be locked up somewhere. And I don't want to hear that you're out there still, like, living your life because you destroyed your child's life. A lot of these kids, they come out of these situations and they're, like, forever affected by it.
Oh, yeah.
They have these long-term disabilities and things and illnesses that they have to deal with for the rest of their lives because of their mom.
And not to mention mental trauma from the one person, literally the one person you should trust the most.
And it's not even like we can't even say that, like, she accidentally got pregnant and then she's mad that she got pregnant, so she's gonna take it. She wanted these kids. Like, she got married, she had children, multiple children, right? And then she just decided, like, oh, I'm not getting any attention. So I need attention.
Michelle, the middle child?
Michelle's the oldest child. Angelin is the middle child that was also affected.
But Michelle, the one that wasn't messed with, why? Why did she leave her untouched unnecessarily?
I don't know, maybe she, like, her mom had, like, a psychotic break or something, like, after she, I don't know, a lot of these situations, like, the moms that develop Munchausen by proxy, they also will have, like, Munchausen for
I
themselves,
can see that.
like, as they're growing up. The host of the podcast, Andrea Dunlop, she does an incredible job, and her team does an incredible job, and her sister actually is had Munchausen growing up, and there was an issue with Andrea's niece, and like she's still kind of in a battle with that. Her sister completely cut her off, so she doesn't see her sister or her niece anymore.
Wow.
Because she came forward and she was talking about how, and so this podcast is kind of her way of processing, dealing with that, also teaching all of us about, like, I had never heard of this before, and then I started listening to this podcast and I was completely hooked because, like, it's like I said, the worst crime that I'd ever heard of was, because I mean, it's one thing to, like, murder somebody, right, or to, like, torture and then kill somebody or whatever, but, like, this is
intentionally making
you're intentionally
ill. Yeah.
making them ill and keeping them ill, and
to garner
and making
attention,
people give your kid these treatments that your kid doesn't need.
Right.
And then there was this famous case too. There's a Netflix movie, Maya Kowalski. I don't know if you heard
the name
about. So she too, but she's still alive, and she's still completely on her mother's side. She hasn't, like, kind of woken up to understand. But her mom ended up committing suicide, and basically, like, the hospital that tried to separate Maya from her mother because they understood what was happening, they've been sued. And they came up with this catchy new term called medical kidnapping, where the hospital is trying to save the child from this abuse that they're suffering at the hands of their mom, and mom doesn't like that, and so mom accuses hospital, and dad accuse hospital of medical kidnapping, and because the parents always know what's best, right? Mom knows best.
That is when, that exact moment is when police should be called. Nobody leaves. Police take child, whatever, CPS, whatever your DFPS, your child services should be called. I know we have different opinions on that, which rightly so, but that should be an intervention in, we need to do a deeper dive into this child's medical needs and histories and things like that.
Yeah. So they now have, if there's this website, Munchausen Support is basically for, like Andrew Dunlop talks about how, like, you can find the sources to, like, help you. So if you are dealing with something, or if you in the past you remember, like, oh, my mom used to take me to the doctor a lot and I was never sick, but you can get the help you need there. Anyway, so now they're using it. They've called it something. So it was Munchausen by proxy, and then it's also, medical child abuse is a more accurate term, but now I think they call it, like, factitious disorder imposed on another.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something you could find in the DSM, but we can get all DSM-5e about it.
Bang.
This show is on season 7 now.
Oh, wow.
But, like, so 6 seasons of, like, just these horrendous investigations into these horrendous moms that do this kind of thing. And I understand, the moms clearly have something mentally very wrong with them, but how?
So they shouldn't have children in their care until they get mentally better.
Right, but if they're not seeking the help because they don't think they need help,
there's where the family comes in and is like, something's wrong with my daughter, my sister, my whatever, my wife, husband.
And Carrie. In the case of Andrea, right, like, she tried to investigate for her niece, and then she got cut off, and they like, she doesn't really, I mean, what are you gonna do after that? You know, she can try, but a lot of these cases aren't being fully investigated. There's a website, it's Justice for Collin, and it's got all the episodes of his case and all the investigations that Andrea and her team have done, and then that has like, if you want to send an email to the Birmingham Police Department, Birmingham, so that they can investigate. I actually sent it last night.
Oh.
So I sent an email, and she has like a template. You just like put your name, but it basically just has like, why hasn't this been investigated? Like, we need to look into like, what are you guys doing, kind of thing. And they're apparently they're dragging their feet on this, and it's so awful. Like, it's such a terrible crime.
Yep.
Like, you know, like why aren't these prosecuted to the fullest extent? Why aren't they investigated? Like, we're under this impression, and I keep hearing it, like, you're a good mom, you're such a good mom, you're a good mom, to like everybody, and I'm like, okay, but some moms don't deserve to hear that, and don't, you know, I mean.
And since I'm holding the mental health book, I'm going to be a mental health person right now. Sometimes it is something going on in your head. Maybe it's a branch or a synapse of, wow, it just left my head. After pregnancy, many moms go through postpartum depression. Can look a lot of different ways, and I'm not giving her an out here, but I'm just saying sometimes that could happen. And the problem is, if we don't talk about it, then it doesn't get addressed. And all mental health things, I think, should be talked about, because it's not, you're not wrong or bad for having a mental health issue.
Yes.
What becomes an issue is if it's untreated, and your actions because of the untreated mental health issue affect other people negatively.
Yeah.
I.e., Munchausen's by proxy, killing a child.
What I don't understand, too, is, like, I understand being, like, very mentally unhealthy. But you have to purposefully, like, she purposefully messed with her daughter's breathing tube.
Right.
This other mom purposely injected feces into her daughter's IV line. These are not, like, convulsions, right? She didn't, like, have a seizure and then whoops, you know what I mean? So, like, these are intentional actions that this person is taking. Like, lock them up forever. I don't care.
Observe them at the very least, and
I mean, there's a video.
Things.
There's videos of Lisa McDaniel. She was convicted, and the hospital in Alabama didn't look into that. Guthrie Jackson Foundation didn't look into that. Like,
see, at the moment of her conviction from the first incident, that's when intervention should have happened on the courts, from the court's behalf, for the children. All three of them should have been removed from the home and placed somewhere safe. That should have happened. Why did that not happen?
So, like I said before, Munchausen by proxy, usually the mom that has Munchausen by proxy, they also had, like, Munchausen disorder for themselves growing up. So, like, Andrea Dunlop, her sister, for example, she talked about how, like, her sister would always say, like, she got hurt and there was always something wrong with her. At one point, she says that she gets pregnant with twins and then later has a miscarriage, but there was never any, like, actual proof that this pregnancy happened.
Okay.
So, like, these are women that they just need all this attention, and they feel like the only way they can get attention is something terrible happening to them or to their kid, and, you know, and it's so awful. I can't. And I mean, these are kids. They're kids. So what are they gonna do? Like, how are they, you know?
That's the person you should trust. So who are you gonna tell? Mom? She's the one doing it.
But then for Collin to in that moment, the days before his death, to tell his aunt, like, I don't think, like, I'll see you there, but I don't think Mom and Dad will be there.
He
Like,
knows. Yeah.
Just, I was bawling when I heard that on the podcast because I was like, that's such a, again, it's so pure and innocent, and
you know right from wrong, right there.
He knew what his mom was doing, and he knew that his dad was complicit in it.
I was just say complicit. Yep.
And I just, anyway, so the worst crime and the worst offenders, and there's nothing redeeming there. I don't understand. I mean, I know that I'm a mom, right? So like I'm very tender-hearted, but like this is not that. Like this is like, I think objectively, even if you're not a mom, like this is awful. Like you can't.
It is.
Like you don't have a kid and then purposefully, like you want your kids to be healthy, and you want your kids to be happy, and you don't want your kids to be in the hospital every day for no reason, just so that you can blog about it and like get people to, you know.
And I imagine in my head going up to a child and breaking their arm would be like appalling to this mother, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
You're doing that. You're hurting your child intentionally.
I would never do that. You gotta be
hurting
covert about it. You gotta, you know.
Be secretive.
Be secretive. A broken arm is too obvious.
So.
Sorry, I don't mean to like make. Sometimes I just gotta like make light or make jokes or laugh.
You know, stress release here.
Yeah.
Munchausen is not in here, so
What?
I'm trying to like go around.
Factitious disorder?
You're so smart. I was looking at fictitious. Factitious. I was like, it's not in here. Factitious. It is. All right.
And then factitious disorder imposed in another is what they're calling it now. I don't know if it would be updated in this book yet, but I don't know how old this one is. But there's another. So this doesn't have anything to do with children. But there's another podcast called Amanda where this woman basically convinces like an entire like million people audience and like an entire church congregation that she's dying of cancer. And she got LeAnn Rimes to sign a guitar for her, and like she got all these people to donate all this money, and then she thought she was gonna get away with it, but then they got her on wire fraud, because she was like, all these people were donating to like this charity thing, but then she was transferring the money to like her account, which like, don't be stupid. Like if you're gonna do something like that, like hide it better. Come on. So like this is a real thing that people are dealing with, but like
the cancer is so obviously obvious. I mean, you can medically identify it.
She was posting pictures of herself in hospital beds and like, oh, going to the ER again because whatever cancer. It turns out like she just went to hospitals and would like pose with things, and like she had like fake like tubes like in her house that she would like tape on herself to make it look like something. And you know, she would tell people, yeah, brain cancer, I had to get my brain, like they had to put like a tube in my brain to like kind of like a shunt, but then like the very next day she went swimming and like put her head into the water. And so like people were like, wait a second, didn't you say that you just had to like get your brain, like what? And you're swimming?
There's a hole in your skull.
Yeah, like why are you swimming? Somebody allowed you to do that? Who's the doctor? Like I want his license. Like what, you know?
Oh gosh.
Just I know that this is a thing, and I know that mental health is a thing, but nothing justifies you doing something awful to an innocent child.
Nope.
Like that lady that left her newborn in the cold. That's why I said not all moms are good moms, because okay, you're stressed out and you're depressed and whatever, and you don't want this kid, just give it to somebody else. For the love of God. Or leave it, you know, she could have like put the newborn in its carrier inside of any building, out of the cold. You don't just leave it there and bounce. That's not a thing. Okay? Like, I'm sorry if it's an unpopular opinion in the year of our Lord 2026. Like, I'm sorry.
There are so many places fire departments, don't ask questions.
They have, like, I
Safe place.
maybe this is just a show, but, like, they have, like, boxes. Like, you can just open a door and, like, put the kid in.
I don't know, but I think I told you this. I might have even been on our channel, on our podcast, but when I was in college and doing some volunteer work, I volunteered with a Safe Place, and I went around and helped, or I ensured that the places like libraries or firehouses and things like that had the proper signage and stuff for that. So I was like, I know which ones, they're everywhere. And so when I see them, I'm like, they're literally everywhere. You can drop a baby off if that's your decision. That's fine. Thank you for carrying the baby to term, but don't leave it. Just love the babies.
Just don't leave it outside. Every time I hear about this kind of thing, like, I want to take the babies. Like, give
All
me
of
the
them.
babies. I'll love the babies. I will love them.
Tell me about
cuddle.
it, because foster care,
Uh-huh.
plug right here. It's so stinking hard, and that's such a silly term, I think, because there's nothing that really, there's no word that truly encompasses how difficult it is. Foster care, be parenting, but foster care, because you see,
Yeah, I can't imagine.
you hear, you get these calls for children, and you want to say yes to every single one, and you want to just love them all and keep them all and hug them and love them, I can't. I mean, it makes your heart just break and crumble. And how do people do that to innocent children? I know I'm there's no words. Clearly I'm fumbling for them, but I don't understand it. I can't comprehend that.
Yeah, that's, like, I had never heard of this crime because my brain, like, I can't imagine any mother or any parent, like, intentionally doing that to their child. I mean, I can't imagine moms that, like, hit their kids either.
Right.
But, like, to make your kid sick so that you'll get attention from other people, that's another level. Like, that's a whole other thing. Like, and so, like, fuck your mental health. Like, if you are doing that, and if you, like, you clearly have the mental capacity to plan these things, to write the blog posts and to whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
This leads me to, like, not guilty by reason of insanity, right? Like, these people have the forethought to put things together, to plan things, to write out blog posts, to design caskets and whatever. Like, no, you have a fully functional brain.
It's not functioning properly.
You have a fully functional brain. You're just an evil person.
Okay, so I am struggling with, for the first time, I think, with our lovely book. Because I think because it's such a, I don't want to say wide term, unfortunately, but I guess a lot of people struggle with lying about their health, which is really sad. Or maybe that because of my opinion time, because of the availability of false information.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody thinks something's wrong with you all the time.
Yeah, we're talking about this. Like, because thanks to TikTok, like, everybody has everything, and they're like, oh, I sometimes feel that way. I must have this too. Right. Like, let me get on all these different drugs. We can have a whole conversation about the medicines too. But...
Or if I've experienced this, me, Hillary, then you must have what I have if you're experiencing it too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, not necessarily at all. Anyway, so what I have found in our lovely book is under the somatic symptom and related disorders, because that's where the factitious disorder lies.
Okay.
So that's a huge umbrella here. We have this chapter includes diagnoses of somatic symptom disorder, illness, anxiety disorder. Didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Conversion disorder, which is the same thing as functional neurological symptom disorder.
So, one of the things that I don't know if it was Colin or Angelin or in any one of these cases that I've been learning about, conversion disorder was one of the diagnoses for like the kid. Was like they just weren't their brain wasn't really matching. They were having trouble with that or whatever. And so like, you know, and that's it's
connected.
And Maya Kowalski, basically her only issue was that she just had like incredible like pain all the time. And her mom was like, she's in so much pain, oh my god, she's in so much pain. But like leave her alone, and she's eating fine, she's talking fine, she doesn't seem like she's in that much pain. But then the problem too, and this makes it worse, is that the kids, because they're kids and this is mom, they start to play along.
Yep.
And they start to act, you know, and as soon as like their mom looks at them and they're like, oh my god, ah! Like, because
what mom
that's
wants.
what mom wants, and that's what will make mom happy with them in that moment, right? And so that makes it harder for doctors to, you know, so in these situations they have to like separate the kids from their parents for sometimes days to see if the kid gets better by themselves, because they're not getting better. I mean, in Maya Kowalski's case, she was able to get her kid like way more than like the recommended dose of like ketamine for her kid's pain. And like Maya Kowalski was put in a 5-day ketamine coma.
Yeah.
And like there's I think there's like video or audio where like she was scared, like she didn't want to, obviously.
The child?
Yeah. Like what child would? Like, oh, but this is for your for you, honey. It's to help you, whatever. They found her mom. I forget her mom's name, starts with a B. I don't remember what it is, but they found her. She had like hung herself, but she had a ketamine IV like in her arm when they found her.
Oh, so she was real chill.
So I guess she wanted to like, you know, chill herself out or whatever before. I don't know. It's just very weird.
It's so weird.
And like her, I don't know if it was like the suicide note or something she said, but like the movie on Netflix is called Take Care of Maya, and basically paints this picture of like this loving mom who nobody believed her about her kid, and like, you know, it just vilifies the hospital and vilifies the doctors that actually cared about Maya more than her mom did. It, you know, it's so sad. And it's so sad because Maya is still on her mom's side and is still angry that like she was taken away from her mom and her parents and whatever. And so it's like Stockholm syndrome, like for real. So
so I'm gonna finish this really quick. This
sentence. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It was with the functional neurological symptom disorder. So then we have psychological factors affecting other medical conditions, factitious disorder, other specified somatic symptom and related disorder, and unspecified somatic symptom and related disorder. So all the disorders in this chapter share a common feature: the prominence of somatic symptoms associated with significance, distress, and impairment. Individuals with disorders with prominent somatic symptoms are commonly encountered in primary care and other medical settings, but are less commonly encountered in psychiatric and other mental settings. So, while it's not one of the ones that we would typically read, like this is this disorder, it's an umbrella of things, but it does categorize this is someone in a primary care facility or situation, child.
Mm-hmm.
Right, of mother, or even an elderly, whatever situation where you're not independent for yourself, and your faculties and things like that. That would be under that umbrella, which makes sense. Interesting. I think I followed. You know, we haven't talked about it very much, but I know it was very not popularized, but maybe the Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I followed that case so closely for years.
Yeah, that's the most famous one. So the one everybody thinks
right. And it's fascinating in such a really sad way.
Yeah.
Because
Did you watch the Hulu adaptation of that?
did.
Okay,
I
me too.
did.
Me too.
But it's just so sad because, like you said, they start to. It's almost like a fairy tale, not a fairy tale, but like a story that the child starts to believe, but they're the main character kind of situation, you know. Because I'm just thinking of Gypsy Rose, you know, because I haven't done a lot of research on any of the other children that have fallen victim to this.
Way too many.
Awful,
I can't.
awful.
I can't even.
But I'm thinking, you know, her mom had her in a wheelchair. She can't walk. And then, like you said, mom would turn around and she would get up and go get herself a snack.
Yeah.
You know, walk her own self to go get it, whatever, you know, that kind of thing.
And then, I mean, at least in the show, I don't know if this, like, actually happened, but, like, mom would get mad at her for, like, getting out of her wheelchair. Like, what are you doing? You can't walk.
Right.
Like, but I can. Look at me.
Yeah, and she didn't know how old she was for a while. Like,
yeah, she didn't know how old she was.
Because mom was telling her that she was younger than she was to get more sympathy, to get more whatever, and things with the doctors and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. And then, I mean, now I think she's out of prison. I think so.
Yeah, she's out of prison.
She's been married for a while. Yeah. But imagine having a child. Imagine Gypsy Rose Blanchard having a child. How screwed up her brain is going to be on how do I raise a child?
Yeah. What if something medical does come up?
Right.
Like, what if they're actually sick?
Do you trust that, or do you distrust anything medical now because everything was a lie?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just sickens me, you know. But I'm Collin.
Yeah. It's so sad.
It is so sad, and again, it's not that hard to not kill people, moms.
Yeah, like don't
kill your kids, please, for fame and attention.
Yeah, like that woman that I talked about, Scamanda, in that podcast that made everybody believe she had cancer. So she has 2 kids. She has 2 sons. Luckily, it doesn't seem to have affected them. So all of her stuff was about how she's dying and has brain cancer or whatever. Right. They finally, so she's in prison now. They figured that out, and she, the wire fraud, they got her on wire fraud, but, that's all they were able to get her on. But yeah, I mean, thankfully she didn't abuse her children, right? But it's
just her, yeah.
But it could have gotten to that point because she was already doing it for herself.
Well,
but she just wanted money and attention. But, these other moms, they do too. It's just, I don't understand what is broken in your mind to, have that bleed over onto your kids. If that's your thing, have that be your thing, okay? But, this is another person.
Innocent kid.
An innocent other person.
I can't, I don't know. I can't understand it. I don't understand that.
How? Yeah, I can't. I just... And the dad, too. I don't know what's worse, honestly. The mom, who clearly has something broken in her brain, or the dad that watched it happen and then, flipped the newspaper back up.
Well, it's just another Tuesday. And to that point, you know, I'm trying to connect it or relate it to physical abuse kind of situation. If this was dad... If we flipped it lots of ways, if dad was using the kid as a punching bag and mom was standing by watching it, we might call that, battered woman syndrome or whatever, and give her a pass because she was afraid of her husband, right? He's going to turn on me if whatever. Still 100 billion% wrong, not necessarily on her, but for the dad to be doing that, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason... society seems to give the mom a pass because she's a weak woman, right? Whereas I think in this situation and other situations, dad's the man. He should step up. And yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But also, I again, and I know you said he's not a good person, but I'm trying really hard here. Maybe there's something that was happening, or he felt trapped, or he felt like I have to stay to help our remaining children. I don't know. But then he defended her. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm lost.
it's the
I'm at a
defending
loss.
her thing. It's the defending her for me. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, you saw what she was doing. You saw it. There is video proof that you watched her mess with your child's breathing tube.
And we're not gonna.
What are you doing? Where is dad? Okay, like, not always physically where's dad, because sometimes dad is there, but is dad protecting his children? That's a dad's job to do that. Sorry if that's unpopular, right? Dad is the protector of the house, right?
Well, and even further than that, she was in court for the first.
Yeah, she was convicted. She went to prison.
So again,
which blew my mind, because I was like, justice system, what the fuck, man?
Why are you not following up on your ex-con?
Yeah.
Like, who has children who are getting mysteriously ill quickly.
Well, so this leads me to, so hold on, let me go down to, I took notes on her. Okay, so she was not convicted specifically of murder or attempted murder, right? The exact charges, they're summarized as like child abuse or cruelty related offenses, but
which is still enough to remove the children from the home.
It should be, yeah.
Alleged child abuse is enough to remove a child from home. Convicted child abuse?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Georgia?
Yeah, I don't know.
Georgia courts, get it together.
Also, Birmingham, Alabama, like, please can we investigate this, like, faster? Because Lisa McDaniel, like, murdered her son.
What is...
Like, she did not take a gun and shoot him, but she completely engineered the entire path to his death. And he should not be dead right now. I think he'd be in his, he'd be like 20 something right now, I think.
Right.
But, like...
Okay, so... Does she have any supporters?
He was really cute too. He looked kind of like Paulette as a kid. Like he had like the bright red hair and just a little cute face. Anyway.
Does she have supporters though? Do people believe her? Because I know she blogged about it. She did all this stuff. Do people still support her?
I mean, her husband does. Maybe. I mean, probably she had a huge network. She's not working for Guthrie Jackson anymore, but she still apparently is talking to patients.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's baffling. Like, what do you mean? Like, is this not a serious enough thing for you, Guthrie Jackson Foundation? Like,
that's another thing, though. I mean, people, like you said, people really do have an MO, right?
Yeah.
Stop messing with people, pretending I have it too, or my son has it too, and people really need help or guidance.
She was instructing doctors and nurses on how to properly care for people with NMO. She was like
not credible.
The liaison between patients and the medical staff. Like, just, I guess she's really good at public speaking. Like, also,
where are her credentials?
Also, when you get a job, they do a background check. So, like, how did they not see the conviction for alleged child abuse? And then they were like, oh, that's fine. Or, like, they didn't see it. They didn't do a background check. Like, I mean, she was so good at talking about this that, oh my God, we need her on our team. Anyway, this makes me so mad.
Was she pretty?
I don't know. I think she
sometimes it makes a difference. Yeah. As stupid as that sounds, if you're pretty, sometimes you get away with stuff.
Well, I mean, they were white, and I guess I think she was blonde. I don't know, but I didn't really want to look up a picture of her, honestly. But
privileges exist, and sometimes
I just don't. I will never understand.
Nope. I don't get that. please be a good mom. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, be a good dad. Be present physically, mentally, emotionally. Be present for your kids. It's not that hard. Sometimes it can be hard. I'm going to be real. Sometimes it can be hard. Kids can be challenging. This is true. We know this. Specific parts of aging children can be difficult.
Okay, so I'm going to turn into a terrible mom. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Bad mom time. Oh my god. Being a mom is the worst. Nobody cares about me, and everyone cares about my kid. Nobody cares about me. And you know what? They run around and they cause a mess in my house. I just wish they would shut up. And I just wish that they were paralyzed and in the hospital so that somebody else could take care of them instead of me.
What is happening right now?
Okay, I'm done. That was my trying to get into the brain of a mom that would do such a thing.
I see. I was like, this is not Lisa.
I told you I'm bad mom now.
Okay.
But yeah, so like, I mean, I'm just trying to get into her brain. Like, if I have postpartum, whatever the fuck, and I see my kid as like it's my kid's fault that now I'm depressed and anxious and whatever. I just wish they would shut the fuck up for a minute. A good way for them to shut up
I see.
is to be sick in a hospital. And look, there's nurses and doctors that are taking care. They can take care of the kid, and I can go home and worry about them
and get sympathy
and blog about it and get people on my side. Maybe get people raising money, giving us money, because my kid is so sick. And I'm never gonna admit to myself that that's why I did that.
Right.
But that's why I did that, was just because I fucking just wanted a break. And I wanted people to care about me for a change.
And his postpartum sounds pretty legit. However,
and Lisa McDaniel was like super powerful because she'd already done it once. She knew she could do it again.
Yeah, there's more.
Like, I already got away with this. I could do it again.
I don't want to say believe, but the postpartum depression is real and very powerful and takes over a lot.
Anxiety is, I dealt with it myself for 6.5, 7 years. I mean, technically I still have it, but thanks to TMS therapy.
I'm just saying, at some point, you yourself realize something's not right with me. Yeah. Something's not going well in my head.
Yeah. And I mean, so I realized that a lot sooner than other moms do, because I had been to therapy before, and I'd kind of been, but like for moms that have never been to therapy, or for moms that don't really know a whole lot about that, they may just feel like they feel angry, and they don't understand that it's their brain. They just think they're like, oh yeah, this kid's fucking up. I'm so mad at this kid. Like I mean, I knew there was something going on, because I remember like Lily was just a baby, and I would get like just rage. Like I would just get like so mad at her. And you know, thankfully I had like the self-awareness to be like, but she's not doing anything to me. Right. Like, what's happening? Why am I so angry all the time? I can't just be happy that I have this adorable little baby. I'm fucking mad because I'm fucking mad because I have this baby suddenly who just needs everything all the time, and she's taking all of my patience and all of my energy and all of my whatever. Like, how dare she do that to me? But like, she's not doing anything to you. Like, you're just dealing with postpartum hormones, and they're raging, and it's awful. It's and
huge change.
If left untreated, it gets worse and worse and worse.
And there's nothing wrong with you if you're going through that. That's something you just... Yeah, well, I'm not saying... If you can recognize that in you, that's awesome. And go talk to someone. Talk to a friend. Talk to your significant other. Talk to a therapist. However, I feel like this Lisa in our story didn't see anything wrong with how she was acting. And maybe it was tied to postpartum. Maybe it wasn't, but maybe it was. And she let it she let it just go. She let it do its thing, and then she leaned into it as, oh, I get attention. Like I don't know. I don't know. The brain is weird, but it's magically weird. But
yeah.
I mean, in a serious note, if you are experiencing that, talk to someone, anyone. Just talk to someone and don't bottle it up. That would be my advice. Bottling it up usually is not a good idea.
And your kids don't need to see that, and they don't need to experience that, and
Right. And be a good model for them.
If you need to step away, if you need to take a break, if you need to tell someone to watch them for a couple days so that you can go, deal with yourself, that's fine too.
Yep.
It's better to
walk away.
Mm-hmm. I understand that's not always easy though. Like,
usually that's the hardest time to walk away, is when you should.
Yeah.
In my experience.
So that's Lisa McDaniel murdered her son, and it was totally preventable. They did an interview with so Michelle, the eldest daughter of Lisa's eldest daughter. She actually confronted Jane Nest, the doctor who originally talked about animal, which was so brave of her to do that. But she was just like, I don't understand.
Right.
How did you get there, and what led you to think that, and what's the proof, and all this stuff. And I mean, from what I could tell, Jane Nest basically just like kind of dismissed it as like, I want to know how she's feeling inside. Like, we're never gonna know, right? But like, if I'm her, and I find out that like this kid that I was in my care, and then I diagnosed just based off what mom was saying, died pretty quickly, right? Because rapid decline. I wouldn't be able to like look myself in the mirror or like sleep at night. Like, I would not be okay.
And I imagine that changes your whole aspect, or your whole perspective on your care of patients. And should I trust everything they say? Well, I was trained to do that, and we always trust the patient, but that's got to be a huge internal conflict as a physician too.
Yeah. This podcast is the reason that when I took Holly to like 2 different ERs one time, because I like didn't like the care that she was getting at the one, and they weren't listening to me, whatever. And then I went to another one, and I remember like I was like freaking out. I was telling the nurse, I was like, oh my god, I know how this looks. I'm not shopping for doctors. Like, I wanted a different. She was like, oh god, like, you're good, you're okay. Like, it's because of this, is because there are moms that exist that do shop around. Like, if they don't like what one doctor says, they're like, oh, well, he didn't talk about anything terminal. I want my kid to die, so I'm going to go here, so maybe they'll give me a terminal diagnosis, and then I can be all up in my blogs about it.
Well, and then on the other side of that, when you first were talking about going to Dr. I already forgot her name again.
Jane Nest.
I was like, if I took my child to the doctor because of X, Y, and Z symptoms, and doctor says your child has this disease, I would not just lie down and be like, okay, I would take them to at least 2 other doctors.
Yeah, seek another opinion.
Right, to be like, I'm going to go get a second opinion, a third opinion, just to be sure.
Right, yeah. No, like, the first hospital, like, said, like, oh, yeah, Holly, like, she, she's fine. But, like, what I was seeing was, it felt worse to me than, I don't know. Maybe I just, like, needed, like, I don't know what. There's 2 hospitals near where I live, and one of them, I feel like they actually care, and the other one, like, they don't really, so.
Brush you off.
I mean, I guess I should have just gone with the one that I prefer better, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, medical trauma and medical abuse is scary. Again, from me who's, lived in a hospital basically since I was 12. I have this weird, and I might have to look at the book for myself, my DSM-5, but I have this weird distrust of everybody, in the sense that I think other people don't trust me when I say
I get
things.
that too. And then I'm like in my head about it later, and I'm like, I said it like this. Did they believe me when I said that?
Why? Where does that come? And I've been like that for as long as I can remember, in that I don't think people believe me, or I have to defend myself when I'm having a medical episode based off of XYZ, diagnoses. And it's like, but you don't. People probably don't really care that much. They're not. They're like, you say you're not feeling it, okay, and they move on. Where you're like, wait, do they think I'm faking it? And I'm like, no, nobody thinks that, But I can't make myself believe that. So I don't know. I think that's something deeper than this episode will go into, but
it's also hard when you feel a certain way and then you go to see a doctor and then they tell you that you're fine. And then, because then you start to not trust yourself.
Yep.
So there's a two-side, either you feel like they don't trust you, or and then that makes you not trust yourself. And so it's a whole big, shit show, kind of a...
big G word. Gaslighting.
Kind of a thing.
That's what it feels like. I'm not saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, so... just...
Well...
Anyway, there's... I might cover a different case of this next time. I'll see if I want to, because we kind of feel like kind of brushed over in general all of them and whatever. I might go into just one specific case now that we kind of know about it. But yeah,
we might do medical mysteries or medical somethings as a season. What do you think?
We could do that.
Because there's so many, and Munchausen by proxy, it's a terribly fascinating subject too. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
No, you can go.
I was gonna say next month is June. I can't believe that already. And we do have a deep dive.
Oh yeah.
On Mr. Is it Ted?
Is it Bundy?
Is it Bundy? It's your dude.
It's my dude.
It's your dude. Okay, yeah. So Ted is up first.
I said that I'm a big fan. So Ted Bundy is fascinating to me because he scares me the most, because he seemed like such a regular guy to everyone else, and he was doing these just there's not even a word for it things. And so I think that that scares me, and I had this this realization the other day where the things I'm scared of are the things I'm gonna want to do all the research on and deep dive on. Yeah. So things that fascinate me, true crime. I heard somebody talking about why are all women obsessed with true crime? And they were talking about well, maybe because men don't really have to worry as much about stuff like that. And so I was okay, so things that you fear, that's what you want to read up on and know all about, so
knowledgeable on.
You know what to look for, and you know kind of stuff. So Ted Bundy was one of those that I was wow, looking at him, I can't tell that he's the serial killer. What if I meet this handsome stranger and then he hacks my head off?
Did you ever hear that statistic? And I'm pretty sure it's real. It's been a while since I've read it or heard it, but every American, or most Americans, majority of Americans, have encountered 3 serial killers this year, kind of thing.
Oh, I don't like that. Don't like that.
Or walked by them, or gone to Starbucks and they're there too, that kind of thing.
My God.
Or Walmart, shopping in there in the store as well.
Just stay weird. Stay weird.
Stay loud, stay weird.
Stay loud, stay weird, stay alive. What we added to that, if you must get murdered, don't do it in the UK.
And don't buy big suitcases.
And don't buy big suitcases that you could fit inside of.
Only buy carry-ons.
And only one. So
That's
that they
true.
have to, like, get
really work.
others.
You have to really work to get you in.
You know, thanks to Winnie Ruth Judd, we know that hot boxes also work for that. So just if you're gonna buy luggage, either buy just the hat box or buy one tiny suitcase.
Yeah.
Don't buy a trunk.
No. No, don't do that. Don't do sports bags because poor Gareth Williams.
You have no duffel bags.
Nope. I mean, come here for all the
ways to
luggage tricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite is if you absolutely have to get murdered, don't do it in the UK.
Please don't.
There's been two cases we've covered where, like, yeah, don't
just
get
completely bumbled.
Don't get killed in the UK. Just don't do it. It's not a thing that you want to do. You don't want them. You don't want the proper people with no guns and
with the batons, yeah.
With the batons coming after whoever it is, because they're gonna have to wait for the firearms squad. They can't just run into the house where you might be locked in.
Yeah. With a person with an illegal firearm, they're gonna shoot anyways. But you have to wait till it's safe for you. You're the police to protect me. Barge in and disarm. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's my American. Everybody has a gun. Just get a gun. I don't have a gun, but everybody but me. No, that's not true either. But anyways,
so that was Lisa McDaniel, the bad Lisa.
Well, I'm glad the bad Lisa is behind us now.
Yeah.
I really hope that Michelle and Angelin, please.
I hope they get justice.
Get help and do well. You know. But
I just don't. Sorry, I'm still like, I don't understand. But anyway.
And that's a good thing. I'm glad you don't understand.
Yeah.
I'd be worried if you did. All right, so again, make sure you like, subscribe,
do all the things. Leave a comment. Let us know how you liked this episode. I noticed that nobody is watching right now. I don't know if that.
Not yet.
I don't know if they. Like, I'm hoping that because we had to restart the stream.
Right.
Now I'm like worried. I'm like, what if they're all on the other one?
Uh-oh.
They're all just waiting. Whoops. Anyways, they'll see this one. It'll stay on our channel. So, yeah.
And remember, you can always email us to crimechatspod@protonmail.com for any suggestions on cases that you want covered by us.
Yep, you can send us a message on our Facebook page, Crime Chats on Facebook. You can just send us love or hate if you don't like what we're doing. You know, if you have constructive criticism or just criticism, that's okay.
We want to hear it.
Or share our show too with other people.
Please. And rate and all those things. But other than that, we got all those things out of the way. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye. Bye. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye, a mug.
Adieu. Bye, a mug. You can't really see. It's kind of.
Yay.
That's better.
There we go. Yeah. Bye.